So example number 1. All right. Let's add or subtract. Tell me, are the denominators the same?
Mm-hmm.
They are. Okay, so what do we do then if the denominators are the same? Just add or subtract. Okay, so here's what I'd like you to do. So I'm going to write then x like this because the denominator is the same, and I'm just going to put the m on the top, and I'm going to subtract the 3m minus 5. Now be careful here when I subtract. You see I'm subtracting the entire fraction. I'm going to ask you to put a bracket around the 3m minus 5 because that minus sign actually applies to both of these terms. Okay, don't forget that. This is a common mistake. So if I do that, the numerator just becomes m, take away 3m, and then what's negative times negative 5? Positive 5, good, over x. Okay. Now once again, try to simplify here, please, by grouping like terms. So on the numerator, I see an m and a minus 3m. What's m minus 3m?
2.
2? Positive or negative?
2m.
Yeah, 2m, positive or negative? Negative, yeah. There you go. And this is your final answer. Okay? Done. So that's the simplified form of adding, subtracting this first rational expression. By the way, I also asked you to find the NPVs, the non-permissible values. What is your non-permissible value for this expression here? What's 0? Or what can't be equal to 0? That's right. X, your denominator, can't be equal to 0. Done. Okay? That's number A. Easy? Okay. Part B. What's your common denominator here?
3a plus b.
3a plus b. But wait a minute. What about this negative 1 here? I don't see a denominator there. What is the denominator of negative 1?
Negative 1.
It's not negative 1, but just 1. Yeah. So I guess if you're saying the common denominator should be 3a plus b, you need to change this last term into a fraction with the denominator of 3a plus b. Okay? So let me just ask you to copy down the first two again. We'll just copy as is. And I'm going to ask you then to change that third piece, that negative 1, into a denominator of 3a plus b. Okay? And my question to you is, what's the numerator going to be for this fraction over here? The denominator used to be 1, now it's 3a plus b. What goes on top? 3a plus b. Good, the exact same thing. Because therefore, when I take those and divide by each other, it gives you 1. Right? Good. So once again, all I did in this first line is find the lowest common denominator, and I rewrote all the fractions using that lowest common denominator. Okay. Since the lowest common denominators are the same, what are we going to do now? All we need to do is just add or subtract. So all I'm going to do now is take the 4a minus 5, add to that 2a plus 3b, and subtract the 3a plus b. And what should I put around the 3a plus b here? A bracket. Because once again, like example number 1, the minus sign applies to the entire fraction. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and simplify, by the way. 4a plus 2a minus 3b gives us, 3a gives us how many a's? 3 a's, yeah. Okay. I have here 3b, and then be careful, this is a minus b, so 3b minus b gives us how many b's?
0.
2 b's.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 2 b's. And then I still have this minus 5, so I'll leave that up top, and I guess that is all I can do. Okay? That's it.
What about NPVs?
Right, what about NPVs? Thank you. NPVs. So in this case, your NPV is you want the denominator not be equal to 0. So I'm going to say 3a plus b cannot be equal to 0.
Is NPV
And you're thinking, sorry, yes?
Is that always the NPV?
Yeah, the NPV is always make the denominator equal or not equal to 0. Yes. Okay. So make the denominator not equal to 0 is your NPV. Now, because you have two variables here, you might be thinking, which variable should I solve for, A or B? It doesn't matter to me. Just solve for one. Which one's easier to solve for?
B.
Yeah. So let's just leave B on the left side. I'm going to bring the negative 3a, bring the 3a to the other side, make it negative, and therefore b cannot be equal to negative 3a is a perfectly fine NPV. Okay. For those of you who want to solve for a, you could have done that too, and I'll just do that really quickly here. I'll say, or you could have done this. You could have said 3a can't be equal to negative b, and a can't be equal to negative 3b. That is also okay. Okay, both are okay. It's up to you which one you like. Most people don't like fractions, so they'll probably pick the one in purple. Okay, but both are okay. You don't need to write down both. Okay, just choose one or the other. Okay. All right.
But doesn't it say to list all the non-permissible values?
Yeah, but these two things say the same thing if you think about it, Tanasia. I just said it a different way.
Okay.
So you don't have to actually do one or the other. You're using the same denominator anyways. Okay. All right, part C. 4, 2, 3 are my denominators. What's the lowest
12.
common denominator? 4, 2, 3, 12. Good. So here's what I'd like us all to do now. Can you please rewrite all of these fractions with the common denominator of 12? Okay. So if you're not too sure, work with me here. The first fraction has a denominator of 4, and I now made it 12. 4 times what gives you 12? 3. So do the same thing with the numerator now. I'm going to take a 3 and multiply by the numerator, okay? Because 4 times 3 gives you 12. So let's do this together. What's 3 times 2x? 6x. What's 3 times 1? That's just 3. Okay. Now how about the next one here? I've got a 2 and it became a 12. 2 times what gives you 12? 6, I heard? Good. So what do I do with the numerator? I'll multiply that by 6 as well. Okay, so 3x times 6 gives us 18x. And negative 1 times 6 is just minus 6. And how about the last one here, x over 3? Well, 3 times what gives you 12? 4, I heard someone say. So it'd be just 4x on the top. Good. Okay. All right, so that's great. Now the denominator is the same. What do you do with the numerators? You just add and subtract. So here I'll just write down one big denominator of 12. And I'll say 6x plus 3. Be careful here with the minus, and congratulations to Nasia for remembering the brackets. Okay. And then I think we can just simplify this and solve. What's 6x minus 18x plus 4x? Negative 8x, okay. And then 3, now this is minus negative 6, so that's plus 6. What's 3 plus 6? 9. And I think, there you go.
Oh.
Okay. That's it. Now what's your NPVs in this case?
You don't have. There are no NPVs.
That's right, there are no NPVs because look at my denominator. The denominator is a number, it's 12. It's not 0. It will never be 0. So therefore you have no NPVs for this example. Okay? How are we doing so far? Thumbs up, thumbs down, asleep?
Yeah.
I only see one thumb, 2 thumbs. No one else has thumbs? Oh, okay. Too shy to show me your thumb? All right. It's Monday morning. I guess I'm moving on. Okay. Scary now. What's the lowest common denominator in this case?
X plus 12.
X plus 12. I don't even see a 12 there.
Yeah, but common.
Okay, can we stop for a sec? Let me show you something here. Okay? Just watch. Don't write this down. Just watch. Let me give you this here. 1/4 plus 1/6. What's the common denominator?
12.
I heard 12. I also heard 24. Which one's right?
12.
Both.
Both are right. Yes, both are common denominators. Which one's the lowest though?
12.
Okay. How'd you get that though? How'd you get that number so fast?
Wow.
And don't just say, I just know.
I just need multiplication tables.
It's multiplication
We learned multiplication at a very young age.
and common sense. Okay. Can I show you some other common sense? What's the 4 equal to? What times what gives you 4? 2. 2 and what?
2.
So pretend you have actually 2 factors here, right? 2 times 2. Agree? Okay, how about the 6?
2 times
2
3?
times 3?
Or
Okay.
6 times 1?
Or 6 times 1, but I'm going to use my prime factors, so let's do 2 times 3. Okay, now, looking at these numbers here, can someone tell me how you get the number 24?
2 times 2
2 times 2 is
times 3 times
4, times 2 is 8, times 3 is 24. So if you multiply all the factors, you get 24, which is a common denominator. Yay! But wait a minute, you wanted the lowest one. So how did I get the 12 looking at these numbers then?
2 times 2 and 6 times 1.
2 times 2 and
But that's not 12. Divide by 2?
2 times 2
2 times 2. So 2 times 2. I need those, right? And what else do I need? I need a 3. Why don't I need a 2 again?
Because then the equal to 24.
Yeah, and you already had a 2, right? So if I'm looking for the lowest common denominator, I'm just looking for the least number of factors that I need. In this case, I'll need a 2, and a 3. So that's why you wrote it like this. And 2 times 3 is 12. So I show it to you this way because looking at this example now, can you see how you have different factors? You have a factor of x minus 4. Now this is all one thing together, okay? Don't say x and 4 are different things. One whole thing. One factor. Here's another factor, x plus 1. Here's another factor, x plus 3. And here's a factor, x plus 1, which I saw already here. So remember how you just multiply things together? My question to you in this case is, what's your lowest common denominator? What things do I multiply together to give me your lowest common denominator? What factors do I need?
2 times 2 times 3.
Say that again, Noella?
2 times 2 times 3.
Well, I don't see a 2 times 2 times 3 here, but
4 and
No, I
3.
mean
Use-
4 goes into.
don't worry about the 4 itself, okay? Look at the whole thing as a factor. Okay, so imagine that this is like your 2. Imagine like this is like a 3. Imagine like this is like something else, 4. And imagine this is, oh, wait a minute, that's the same thing, a 3. So what do I need?
You need x minus 4 and x plus 3.
Okay, so I need, just watch me first, okay? So I need an x minus 4. Okay, what else do I need?
X plus 3.
X plus 3. What else do I need?
You want x
And an x plus 1. Do I need one or do I need both of them? Just one. Just like over here, I only needed one of the 2's, right? I didn't need them again. The similar idea here is I need only one of these factors. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So this is your lowest common denominator. Pick up your pencils now and write this down. Okay? So your lowest common denominator is just looking at all the factors, the stuff in the bracket, and just picking one of each.
That's it.
Okay? Well, I have to do the numerator with you, so I'm not done yet, but so far that's what you've got. Okay? Now, trying to relate this to question C. Remember how in question C I had a 4 and it became a 12, and I asked you what did you multiply the 4 by to get you a 12? And that was a 3. Similarly over here now, I started with x minus 4x plus 1, and then I've got x minus 4x plus 3x plus 1. What factor am I missing here? Or how do I go from this to that?
Multiply by x.
What do I need to multiply by?
X plus 1.
Which one am I missing? I'm missing the x plus 3. So I'm going to ask you now to take your numerator, which is 2x squared minus x minus 1, and you need to multiply it by the missing factor, which is x plus 3. Okay? Because think about it.
X plus 3 the missing factor?
Well, let me look Tanasia with you right now. What two factors do you have in your denominator at the beginning?
Oh,
X plus 4, or sorry, x minus 4, x plus 1. So which one are you missing? I'm missing an x plus 3. So therefore, I need to multiply both the top and the bottom by x plus 3, right, to make the common denominator. Okay. I know this is getting weird. Okay, now how about the next one here? The one on the right, the fraction on the right. I have x plus 3 and x plus 1. That's what I started with. But now you told me the common denominator is x minus 4, x plus 3, x plus 1. Which factor am I missing?
x plus 4.
X
minus 4.
minus 4. Good. So I better multiply both the top and the bottom by x minus 4 to make an equivalent fraction. So once again, I'm going to take the 3x, and I'm going to multiply this by x minus 4. Okay. Once you have a common denominator, what do you do next? Just add and subtract the numerator. So I'm going to ask you now to please just write down one denominator of x minus 4, x plus 3, x plus 1. And I'm going to ask you to expand and simplify the numerator. Okay? So maybe I'll just write out this. I'll go 2x squared times x gives us, somebody help me out? 2x cubed, thank you. 2x squared times 3, which gives us 6x squared. And then now you have the negative x times x gives us a negative x squared. And a negative x times 3, which gives us minus 3x. And then a negative 1 times x, which is negative x. And a negative 1 times positive 3, which is minus 3. Okay? That's just that part on the left.
Yay.
We're not done yet. There's a part on the right, you know.
I know.
Okay. Now with the part on the right, can I combine the negative with the 3x together? So what I'm asking you to do now is take negative 3x times x, which would be what?
Negative 3x.
Good. Negative 3x squared. And then the next one here, please. Negative 3x times negative 4 gives us? Positive 12. Good. Okay. Looks ugly. That's okay. It's time for you to simplify. Thank you. What did I forget? It's negative 3x times negative 4. It should be negative 12x. Thanks, Casey. Here's a dime. See, you get paid for correcting your teacher. I don't know whose dime that was, by the way, but it was here. If you lost a dime, Casey has it. All right, let's keep going. I want to simplify. Can you group like terms in the numerator? Please say you can. 2x cubed. It's just by itself. Okay? 6x squared minus an x squared. That's 5x squared. Minus 3x squared gives you how many x squareds? 2. Then I have negative 3x minus x. That's negative 4x. Plus 12x is how many x's? 8. And I guess I have a minus 3. Woo! Big ugly thing. That's it. We're done. It's coffee.
No, I'm okay. I don't like coffee.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's your simplified answer. But I guess this question is still not done because I need you to tell me what the NPVs are. Somebody help me out. Where do we find them?
0.
The 0. The denominator equals 0. So you're really saying make x minus 4, x plus 3, x plus 1, and this can't equal to 0. So what's one value of x that can't be 0? Well, from here, I guess you can say x minus 4 can't be 0, so therefore x can't be 4. Good. Okay, let's not go through the whole steps for all the other ones. What about this one here?
Negative 3.
That's right. So x also can't be equal to negative 3.
-1.
and also can't be -1. Bravo.
Oh, so we can do each one separately?
That's right, because it's brackets, right? I'm saying 3 things multiplied together can't be 0, meaning one of those brackets can't be 0. So if you make each of them not 0, you'll get 3 different solutions. All right. Is this stuff hard?
It's hard when you're trying to stay awake.
It's hard when you're trying to stay awake. Shouldn't you always try to stay awake in class? Yes. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, how about E? Let's try this together still, okay? What's the common denominator?
X plus 1 times
X plus 1 is one thing. You're right. X plus 2 is a totally different thing. You're right. So when you multiply them together, that is the common denominator. Yes. By the way, what's the denominator of this 2 here?
The same thing.
Well, what goes underneath?
1.
It's just a 1. Okay, so remember that. It's just a 1. So let me ask you now to rewrite all 3 of these terms with the following common denominator. X plus 1 times X plus 2. Okay? All right, so do that for me first.
What about the 1, 2 over 1?
Yeah, so that's why this is for the middle one, right? So this is the fraction for the first. Here's the second. There's the third. Okay. And it's your job now to try to find out what the to make them into this common denominator of x plus 1, x plus 2. I will help you with this first of all. So if you're following along with me, what factor am I missing from the first fraction on the left?
X plus 2.
The x plus 2. So therefore, I'm going to take the numerator of 3x plus 2, and I need to multiply that by the missing factor, which is x plus 2. Okay? Okay, the middle term now. The denominator originally was 1. Now the new denominator is x plus 1, x plus 2. What factor am I missing? I'm missing both. Exactly. So guess what? You're going to have to take that 2 and multiply by both of the missing factors. Oh, nasty. And how about the third fraction there? The 4x plus 1. What factor am I missing from this one?
X plus 1.
X plus 1. So multiply both the top and the bottom by x plus 1. There you go. I see a whole bunch of brackets. I see a lot of expanding in front of your future. Why don't I let you try this on your own first, okay? So I'll be quiet so you can do things on your own. But I'll continue to write my answer up here, so if you want to double check, you can. Okay? Go for it, please, dear friends. By the way, you can always check your answer with your neighbors. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, that -2 in the middle term kind of scares me. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write down -2, and I'm going to try to do the middle 2 brackets. I'm going to multiply them together first, okay? I'm going to do this first. And I think that just becomes x squared plus 3x plus 2, okay? All these minus signs scare me. So I'm going to put a minus sign here and a bracket once again. And I think I'm going to actually multiply out this part first. So 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times 1 is a 4x, but I have another 1x. So I'm going to combine that together to become 5x plus 1. Okay? Here to see if everything's okay. 3x squared minus 2x squared minus 4x squared, that's negative 3x squared, yes or no? Then 8x minus 6x is 2x minus 5x is another negative 3x, yes? 4 minus 4 is 0 minus 1, that's what I've got. Is that what you've got?
Yep.
Yay. What's your NPVs?
-1 and -2.
Good. X can't be equal to -1. X can't be equal to -2. All right. I feel encouraged that you guys at least get this stuff. Let's try the next page now because it gets a little bit harder. Oh ho ho ho.
What?
Ew.
Ew.
Well, actually, that's not too bad. You just need to.
That's not too bad, yes. When you
J
get to
looks-
the J, that looks nasty. Yes, but let's not go to J yet. Okay, don't ruin your fun.
How is that?
Don't ruin your fun. Come on. Let's do F. Let's just do F first. Don't worry, I teach you great things here.
can't stop looking
I
at
teach
J.
you great things here. You'll feel so good about yourself afterwards. After you finish J, you'll be like, I can do this stuff. J does not stand for joke.
It's just multiple pairs.
Okay, let's look at F first, dear friends. Okay, let's look at F. Ladies and gentlemen, what's the common denominator here?
Factor.
And if you said yes, maybe Mr. Lee, I should factor first, please do. Okay, may I ask you to write down this? Okay, factor denominators first. Okay, because a lot of times when you factor it first, it'll make life a lot easier. Because right now, if you didn't, you might be thinking, I need a factor of x squared minus 16, a factor of x plus 4, and a factor of x minus 4. That's nasty. And I'm not that nasty, right? Uh-huh. So can someone help me out and factor the x squared minus 16? What does that actually become?
X plus 4, X minus 4.
Yeah, that's a difference of squares, okay? So notice here that I'm just going to rewrite this as x plus 4, x minus 4. And right now you should be thanking Mr. Lee because you're like, hey, those two factors look very similar to the other ones. So life is actually not that bad. So can you now suggest to me what the common denominator is going to be? What should I make all these three factors?
First denominator.
X plus 4, X minus 4.
Sure, the x plus 4, x minus 4. Now notice I never ask you to multiply out the denominators. Okay, it's perfectly fine to leave it in this binomial or factored form. That is perfectly fine. Okay, don't waste your time multiplying out the denominator. But do waste your time multiplying out the numerator. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what is the first term on the left equal to? Well, am I missing anything from the first term here? Am I missing any factors?
No.
No. So what do I do with the numerator?
Leave it as is.
Just leave it as is. Good. 5x plus 1. Good.
Second one's X minus 4.
Yes. Melania saying, hey, look, Mr. Lee, I'm missing an x minus 4 from the second one, so put it in. Good. And from the third one, what am I missing there? X plus 4. So let's put it in. And now life is good because you've got your common denominators. Just go ahead now and add and subtract the numerators. Here we go. (5x plus 1). Be careful with the negative 5 here. I'll distribute inside. So that's negative 5x plus 20. And then the positive 6, well, I guess I could combine the positive together if you wish, but it doesn't make a difference. 6x plus 24. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could go ahead and try to simplify that, I'd be very happy. And you always want your teachers to be happy, right?
Yeah.
No response. 6x plus 45. And PVs, dear friends, to finish this one off?
Negative 4.
Negative 4 and positive 4. Good. Or plus minus 4. Bravo. I'm happy. Are you? Totally. Cool. Go ahead and do G then, if you're totally happy. A lot of you are getting upset about the 3 minus b. Somebody help me out. B squared minus 9 is equal to what?
B minus 3B plus B.
Good. B minus 3, B plus 3. Good. I'll write this one as is. Good. And then many of you are like, wait a minute. 3 minus b, b minus 3, Are they the same?
No.
No, they're not. I've shown you this 2 times. This is the 3rd time. What do I do with this now? Put a -1 in front, right? Remember, 3 minus b is the same thing as -1 times, and I can switch them around, b minus 3. So I guess what I'm saying to you is I've got a 2 on the top. I got a negative b minus 3 on the bottom. Totally cool.
Don't you put in the other ones?
To the other ones?
Like, since there's b plus 3, don't you make it?
Yeah, well, that's my next step. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I guess my question to you now is, what's my common denominator?
b minus 1, b minus 3,
Some ugly stuff.
b minus 3,
b minus 3, along with a
b minus 1.
b plus 3. Okay. We can do that if you want.
What about the negative?
What about the -1? Good question. What about that -1? Oh, that nasty -1. What should I do with it? Move it to the numerator. That's one option.
Whoa.
Now, you could have also just made your denominators like this. Negative, negatives, negatives, but I don't like that. So I like Danny's idea. Because you know what? I can just move the negative to the numerator, right? Remember, I told you, I think a few days ago, 15 divided by -3 is the same thing as -15 divided by +3. It doesn't matter where your negative sign is as long as there's somewhere. So let's just go ahead and I'm going to ask you to move this negative into the numerator. So now what I have is -2 on the top. And write that down. Bravo, Danny. Okay. And to finish off this one, what factor am I missing?
b plus 3.
b plus 3. Good. We got a minus and the 3. What factor am I missing from the middle fraction here?
b minus 3.
b minus 3. Good. And then I guess I'm missing nothing from the last one. Yes, Ryan.
Why are you using b plus 3 for the first?
Say that again. Over here. You see how the fraction in red has the denominator of b minus 3? So the one I'm missing then must be the b plus 3. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we okay? All right, so go ahead now and combine them all together. Let's see what you get. -2b minus 6, -3b plus 9, plus 1. What's this equal to now? -5b plus 4, b minus 3, b plus 3. Looking good? Mm-hmm. Yes or no?
Yep.
Okay. NPVs once again. B can equal to 3. B can equal to -3. Okay. When you're ready to move on, go ahead and move on. Go. The one on the right. I don't know why you started with the one on the right, but okay.
No, I did the one.
Maybe you're Chinese and you read from right to left. I get it. Okay. All right. How about the one on the left?
X minus 1 minus 1.
Oh, very nice. X plus 1, x minus 1. Difference of squares. Thank you, thank you. Yes. Okay. Good first step. What's the common denominator?
3 stuff.
The 3 stuff. What's the 3 stuff?
No, I meant 3 things.
Oh, 3 things. What are the 3 things?
X plus 1, X minus 1, X minus 2.
Okay. X plus 1, x minus 1, x minus 2. Bravo. You need one of each of these factors. I'll tell the student that. Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, you need to tell me what factor am I missing from the first fraction?
X minus 2.
X minus 2. Excellent. What fraction am I missing from the second one?
X plus 1.
X plus 1. Good. Go ahead and solve, please. Looks like you don't need my help anymore because you guys got this down. Awesome. That feels so good.
I don't even have room for J.
If you don't have room for J, then I don't know. Get another piece of paper.
How do you put a negative? Oh.
Write smaller if you don't have room. Ladies and gentlemen, be careful of that negative sign. Okay. Yes, be careful. I'm telling you all the pitfalls that that grade 11 students make. Ooh, Kimberly says J is easy.
It actually is if you.
How many of you want to hit her right now? How can it be easy? You're crazy. What are you talking about?
Multiply.
Something like that.
It's just a lot of steps.
Yes. What do we have on top here? Is it 4x? Minus 2? Is that right? No? I'm
Where's your
confused.
X squared? Oh, wait, you might.
My x squares are gone.
Oh, it's 2.
Oh yeah, it's 4x
I got.
minus 2.
Am I right?
Yes.
I need affirmation. Your teacher needs affirmation.
Yes, it is.
Affirmed. Yeah.
Affirmed?
Yes.
Good. NPVs, dear friends.
-6 plus 5.
Negative 1. 1.
Plus -1.
2. Done. When you look at I, here's what I want you to understand. This is something called a complex compound fraction, meaning you got fractions, and they're dividing each other. This bar just means divide, okay? Divide. All right? So what I'm saying to you is actually this. We're taking the numerator, which is 3 plus 2 over x, and please write this down, okay? I'm going to put a bracket around it because I'm taking that whole thing, and I'm dividing it by the denominator, 4 minus 1 over x. And once again, put a bracket around them. Okay. So now I got, hey, adding, division, and subtraction. Oh my. What do I do first?
Division.
Division? Sure, but look, I've got brackets.
No, please don't.
So, remember BEDMAS? Oh, yes, you do. Brackets first. Do the brackets first. So, can you help me simplify this bracket? And then, can you help me simplify that bracket? What's the common denominator for the bracket on the left?
X.
X, yes. Now we're doing French. Okay, fine. The lowest common denominator is X. Okay. Then we'll take 3 and multiply it by uno, no. 2, no.
28.
What am I missing? This is like 3 over 1. What factor am I missing? It's a X, isn't it? Did I just confuse all of you right now?
No,
Yes.
I just don't know what you did.
Oh, okay. Stop.
Oh.
Let's erase. What's the common denominator between 1 and x?
X.
X. Good. Let's not use French. It gets confusing. Yes. Right? What am I missing from the first fraction here? 1 times what gives you x? It's an x. So 3 times what gives you that? It's 3x. Is that better? What about the next fraction here? 2 over x. Do I need to do anything with the 2? No. Good. Okay. How about the one on the right? What's the common denominator there? X again. What do I do with the 4? What do I do with the 4? 4x, yes. How about the 1? Leave as is. Good. Financia's going to sleep.
Is there an eraser?
What do we have here? Let's rewrite this as 3x plus 2. Let's rewrite this as 4x minus 1 over x. And now what do we do? Division. How do we do division? It's the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. All that stuff from last day. Don't you just love math where you get to use what you did like last day again?
Like life?
Like life? Yeah. And now what can you do?
Cross.
Do you see anything that simplifies?
And then cross.
Yes, the x and x simplify. So what's left over? 3x plus 2 all over 4x minus 1. And you are done. Except we didn't find your NPVs yet. It's okay? It's really okay? It's not okay. What are your NPVs for this case?
0 and 1 over 4.
Okay, look at your denominator, right? So here's your denominator, 4x minus 1. So therefore, I guess 4x minus 1 can't be equal to 0. 4x can't be equal to 1. X can't be equal to 1 over 4. Yes. Where did this 0 thing come from, Angie, that you're talking about? Right there. Where's there? Where's there? If you look at your equation right up at the top, do you see how you had a fraction within a fraction? You got this divided by x. So you have to worry about that NPV as well from up top. So notice you have an extra NPV of x can't be equal to 0 as well. Okay? Now, dear friends, I think I'm going to